Howdy, my name is Ashley Clopton, and today I'm going to be presenting about Apis mellifera, and specifically essential oils prevention of Varroa destructors, contribution to weight loss, malformation, and the shortened lifespan of Apis mellifera. Now, a little bit about some of the topics I'll be speaking on today. Apis mellifera are commonly known as honeybees, and at some point in almost all of our lives, we may have come across one. But we definitely benefit from the insects if we've ever shopped in a grocery store. A lot of the products and produce that we consume on a daily basis have been affected by honeybees. Now, these creatures can be harmed by a parasite named Varroa destructor. They can be misformed and mutated, and it can almost be fatal sometimes. So we really don't want Varroa destructors to proliferate in the honeybee community. So to get rid of these mites and other pests, many times farmers will use pesticides to kill them off and prevent damage to crops. However, those pesticides can harm the honeybees. So an alternative, which would be essential oils, many of us already use in our homes today. They are being studied as an alternative to pesticides, specifically for Varroa destructor. So are essential oils beneficial to the proliferation of Apis mellifera and the prevention of Varroa destructor? So here you can see we've got a little display about the number of fallen Varroa destructors within a certain time period. The bees were fed a specific diet. So diet A would be with mint oil, B with camphor, C with thyme, D with garlic, and E was the control. So each of these groups of bees were studied, and the Varroa destructor numbers were recorded. So you can see that mostly in the winter time it worked out a little bit better, but in both years there was an effectiveness above 70% for majority of it. And I think that's really a good amount to show how these essential oil diets can benefit these bees. Now, in the next slide, there's a more of a visual so you can see that, not all essential oils will be performing the same way, but nonetheless, they do benefit. So you can see that's something to be taken account of when using these essential oils in the future. Not all of them will be performing the same. Here's another graphic. You can see the infestation definitely decreases with some oils. Like I said previously, different treatments with the oils will result in different numbers of fallen mites. And then here we have the infestation within the hive, the brood cells, and the adult bees. So it works a little bit better on the cell itself, like the actual hive, but nonetheless, the infestation on the adult bees, it does have quite a reduction. I would say it's enough to consider these essential oils as a worthy alternative. So in conclusion, from those slides, you can see that the essential oils do provide the necessary decrease in numbers for these Varroa destructors. We have quite a dip in activity there, and then there's also less bee death resulting from this, which is the original point of having those pesticides. Now we have an alternative that doesn't harm the bees. So the significance of all this, the use of these essential oils like garlic and clove and thyme combined or through like an IPM program, they will control varroa mites. And I think it's very economically recommended because these materials used in these experiments were inexpensive and it was efficient. Most of this was done within hours, and they're relatively less toxic compared to very expensive and toxic pesticides and acaricides, which, they've been proven to result in harm to bees' health. Sometimes they can be used randomly or misused in overdosed amounts by these beekeepers. So overall, there's not really danger of contamination if the treatment is carried out properly. Because a lot of people might wonder, if pesticides are getting in their food, will these essential oils contaminate the food? Well, as long as the treatment is carried out properly and it's not done during the period of production and storage of honey in the hive, and also when the temperature is under 28 degrees Celsius, that's probably going to be the best. So it can be recommended to the beekeepers to use garlic, clove, and thymus essential oils. And not much is needed, maybe 1 to 2 milliliters per hive to control the varroa destructor infestation. Overall these are not expensive, they're easy to apply, and they pose few health risks to the bees. So it is definitely a worthy alternative. And these here are just my references. Did quite a bit of research for them, and they will also be included in the attached document. Thanks for listening.